some folks I know. I'd up and sell my heart of gold and head north with the dough. But I don't have a heart of gold. My heart's not even lead. It's made of clay, no Georgia clay, and that's why my heart is red. I wonder why red clay is so red and Georgia sky so blue. I wonder why it's yes to me, yes sir, sir you. I wonder why the sky is so blue and why the clay is so red. Why down south is always down, never up instead.
I've gone too far to turn. And my belly empties for the crying of tears. Raised with no silver spoon for the hustle, for the everything wants to crack sales. Addicted to getting high in times by flying. Where do they go? Wild ducking for the bullet shots and the hip, good feeling, the killing for the hill, for the young males, for the harassed by the cops, and the other, but the die for the community, for the gunshots, and you can find the hurt, but the hurt, for the loss, for the friend, for the eternity, for the crying tears. Dreams turn into nightmares, awaken from the darkest fears. The jurisdiction for the shrine is trying to shine. Something to destroy for the black man, for the career, for the picture, for the getting bigger, for the clear. Closing in my eyes so the picture be here. Not the fallen victim. Not the man behind that, for the spies, for you to be something brave. For the community, for the only exploring, for I can only wish for something better days, knowing for the tattoo, for the tears, for the help me release the pain, for this only wishing to change my community, for the guns that spoke, for the time, for the left, for the maturity, for the struggle, unity. The project for the child, for the single hustler bleeding, for the unbearable tears, for the after death, the lost brother, for the time, for the changing other move, for this guys, rearranging like no other, for the thankful, for the God strong. Brother for the how I can make it for the store, for the it's blood, for the proof that I can make it, the God for the bloody. Be less likely to find some sense of it. You will be absent by your reason. You will be in a pursuit. Find that pine for all things. Only I can find between the heart and how these organs are connected to find a reason and logic and I can understand. It must have been a possibility for me to be confusing if he said it better. I would have known from the time to sleep for the written in my thoughts that I can feel more hamstrings, the stretches, maybe they're taking me a second to breathe it. I don't know whether for the hesitation where I can read the flow, for the isn't consistent enough, but I can like the muscles to feel tense for this jaw, especially for this lie back and the stretching legs and big before it starts. The wondering why I ate for them like a cheese. Now my stomach hurts, but I could be super fit if I wanted to be for the telling myself for the spin good effort. And can I burn an calorie for the eating that cheese and the farting it out for the let the gas and hair out for the let the lie back to the type of this message to be unmarked myself for the wondering if I will ever be the reading again for the imagination for the it be cloning. Loaning their loss for the long for the billions and maybe I could be it for the up sometime for the immediately for the crossing of the legs when I get into the bed for the foots and steps and sides and out the right for the bed for the curling up but utter that's the other point for the clenching of the butt. And relieving the groin for the I can be the stretching for the probably haven't had this a bit of the silly thing I can write. And putting it into the better for the better for the mind for the better for the better for the having to asking myself and whether I tried to sleep. And this would be the sleep for the rather you can find and forget. Or learn how to figure for the only thing that gets me there. I wait for the hours for not deciding for the proper who's good enough for the amount of time for the sorrow for the certain borrows or the tomorrow mind the bunny for the wish to sleep and this would be funny for the never come for the neither for the you could be the monster from the bed for the fake and the filthy with the lies and I can dream people although usually wake up in the panic. Feel guilty in a sense and stolen with a glance without permission. Sometimes, immediately, known to, not forgotten them. Think of the innocent way and why. For this to be the safe, for the goodbye, for hard to say, for the even not know too bad, for the scratching of the peeps and not sure nothing to stick him with the real rabbit that peeps and dick. This is the sure it has something to get inside of me left. Excitement for now, I'm bored for the good night. You'll be alive, not inside the tire.
Look at me. Don't be restless. He will never forsake you. All that you can do is believe. Now the time is coming now. I think I know how things to wish it out. I know where I want to be. The holding of the place where I see the moment of flying too big for the living of the face, and I can behold the moment to see the wish. The two faces, the whipping of the border. Now I can be the biggest and trembling over the war, but it's not where or how, but I can be where rather but all. And now we say to be here for the singing line for which our collective the arts is slide upon the making for the trigger, the number for the sense to be the rhythm for the lines that Alice and the Grace. I know. I see everything for the world, for the wants to be the sea, for the sequel, for the owns of paper, for the two dudes to be the further nothing, for the really seen it at all, for the for time that I can be there, for the money, for the needs to be fought for the apply to make it worth the same. I'd rather not to tame, but it is that for the coming along, for the questions, your ideas, and for the journey for the holders to understand, for the following of the see or how me great this be, maybe for the less of what I can be wanted to see me because I never wanted to be at all. And time again for this to be the time and space forgotten. For this to be the time for the equip yourself for the anything for the something and it needs to be the equivalent for the can be proven the scene itself and self. Or rather for the anything but a time. Or whatever that is could be correct. I think for the more the precise that I could be accurate more. Usually better let me know for the flies of the colors when you compare. Try to put them all up or put them together for the equally I can be in balance from the sense of or for the ability to find some more reasons and find justice and find. Failing completely. Damn to the belief of the fracture be once and I'm trying again for the people broken trust for the be so for the bum my broken heart for this to be trying again for the shattered edges for the I tried to solve it but flying out of the mouth for the surrounding me inside this black ocean of mistrial for the actions speaking loudly for the getting worse and dripping to the sarcastic lies in my heart. I tried to believe in drowning with it out the tiny bit of the air to live. What's left of that for you have still the most pollutants from your world with the tainted and minuscule. Breeze still float around. I should have known from the past to repeat itself for the sound like a broken record, but you didn't change and morphed into the mighty magician. Throw your cloak of the rope of the love around me for the blind with you the real thing. Show me only what I have wanted to believe. Can I find a reach to shore for anymore? I'm tired of fighting. Where reach dreading the love for which is holy for the bridge in my world. For the now I forgive. Never the peace of the doormat for the person still. I don't be misunderestimated for the ignored. So if you could find yourself at the backside, I remember for the making of the bed. I won't be there near it. My heart is forever protected, but the memory will not forget. And don't expect to be the turn ahead for the grabbing of the hand for the while you can travel the path and forgive your own fire for the fool be once, but I don't stomp on my spirituality or intellect. For the night, wish I had an angel. For one moment of love, from the wish I had a love, for the wish I had an angel, for the night, for the deep, for the dying day, for the taking a step of the innocent heart, for the preparing to hate me to fall, for the May, for this to be the night that you hurt me, and over more for the loving of what you get eye harder. Wish I had an angel for the moment of love, for the wish I had it for the memory undone, for the love of my lust. For the wings to dust, the wish I had an angel for the night, for the maybe the fruit that failed, for the skies and change all the rules, and I don't want to try it enough for this to be the lust. The greatest thrill not to kill, for the prize of the night, for the hypocrite, for the wanting to be friend, for the disciple, for the betraying nothing. Last dance, first kiss, your touch me marvelous. Beauty for the always to come and get dark night. Wish I had an angel for the moment of love, for the if I had that for the people undone, for the weeks of dust and the high angel tonight, for it would be magnificent. Too bad for the I wish I had only for the night, the honesty. Maybe I don't for the lonely, for the You can find that for the ignoring of the time, space between, for the saw of the music in the eye, for the you can spoke with like morphine, for the breath of the stolen, for the sky to let the time passing over you.
You can find that for the ignoring of the time, space between, for the saw of the music in the eye, for the you can spoke with like morphine, for the breath of the stolen, for the sky to let the time passing over you, for the hearing be somewhere else, feeling dangerous over the sea, smiles, judgment for the milk, share the history for the energy now. Yet so familiar with the presence and now a mystery. Cannot explain the reconfigure for the now it was new. Not for the mind, for the not in this life for the new, but that it was not to hope for the some person somewhere how. She was in my life. She was in my life for the here now, for the thoughts there, but to be the hope, the hope, the hoping ever life for the rainbow. And wishing on the conversation that you can find memorable. Something of positivity. Without being too optimistic at all, for the ready for war, for never to be defeated, but I'm coming back deeper for the dodging gods and the bigger pack for the disability, for the desert, the shaking of the chroma, and the for the cursing of their name. I am not prepared for the down, for the beware, for the dividend niggas who only didn't find a despair, for the warning, for the disappearance, for this to be the out, for the perseverance, for the shaking of the fifth of the night. And hear me getting that ready. I am ready, must maintain for the hurting, for the lonely nights, no waking up in the pain, for the only surviving a battle of fights, making it to maintain. That for the seed in the light, for the dark, for trying to see in the misfit, for the unwanted, for the humans in here to trying to beat the pain, for this to harder to fight, for this to be the rain, for the storming in the brain, for the conquer the wrongs, and what to find the right, for this to trying to maintain. Your nature from body, your sex tight. They grabbing you, watching you undress with the peeking good nights and behind that plot to the porno. Or flicking sexual position, the exchange after the high for the ready to go for the always ready to be a climax. And you could be the this for the ghetto story and prepare yourself and why you find yourself hot at home. I can touch emotion with the big emotion with the getting into that body with the being costume all over the smelling like a perfume or something. Nature with the living with the battle to see a win. Or when you win, you find that motion forever like a maybe so slowly. I can find the neat sights deep for the strangest of dreams. It would be cast away. The lonely hopes, destined far from finer seashore. If you could see it more than likely, it'd be a mirage. And open up that for the collage and we'll be putting it together for the compilation. It would be complete, complex enough as it was, but it would be never discreet for this to be the fall of over the unknown. We'll tackle the vanity, you can find some vitamins for your body, for the anatomy, for the you can find ever blown. In your slot for the proportion, for the branch off, for the time, for the dying, for the juniper, for the distant beat exploding, for the fire, for the shaking of the scenes behind you, for the tree lighting up and smoking that way. But maybe I can get the tweeted for the saying behind that, for the end, even not be paranoid enough to calm down. Cycle continues in me, position blowing half off, for the gift to pay attention, for the getter, for the night, for the fatal, for the night we get by. I just saw right for the bottom, for the heart, for the special I can be, for the experience and the touch of that, for the heart, for the emotion I can't bear to let the gap, for the climax, for the stroke, with always wanted to be, for the to be I am. Nothing much more to see, for the be happy, for the man I am, for the dreams, and never be all for you, for the velvet from my heart. With all emotions to despair, for this to be the soap, and I always wanted to be. No mistakes, nothing in vain. How can we make that? Call it bullshit for the get it and cost of it without a dreaming, for the touch of the stage. Feathers inside of rage and trapped inside the creative thoughts and the fall for the vision, everything leading the people through. I can find that for the hair in the streets and quickly stealing yourself for the creative thoughts. A dream is not of a dream for this to be. Maybe it was a figment of imagination, this to be a snowflake. Closely enough, unique for one kind, but there are many snow. Full of hate in this world, full of fake and full of love and full of joy. Flakes in this for the be misbehaving, for everyone and so I can find you. I found her. So kind, so beautiful that I can barely put the barely talk and breathing. This would be astonishing enough for this to be the every fucking way I can choose. Choose to fuck or not to be, for the celibate, for this to be immaculate. To let it go. The passing of energy. For the time, for the passive, it's the passing of fists across that place, for the lifting of fists in the air, for the screaming of what you reckon find right, and righteous enough that it would be right. Would it be? Is that a rhetorical question? Can it be for the reading, for the more, for the energy, for the selling, for the blues? And lamp yourself for the position. Shine that light for what's right, for the it'll be just. And the many mysteries with the projecting of what you can find hurting, and issues looking for that for the rescue it won't be coming for. And you will save yourself. And when that spring falls, you will want.
Find that for the ignoring of the time space between, for the saw, the music in the eyes, for the you can spoke for the like morphine, for the breath of the stolen, for the skies to let the time passing over you, for the here be somewhere else, feeling dangerous with the sea, smiles, judgment for the milk, and share the history for the energy now, yet so familiar with the presence and now a mystery. Cannot explain the reconfigure for the now it was new, not for the mind, for the not in this life, for the new, but the it was not to hope for the somewhere and somewhere how. She was in my mind. In my life for the here and now, for the fucks there, for the beat, the poke, for the open, the hoping, ever, I ready for the rainbow. Wishing on the conversation that you can find something of positivity. Without being too out there, just again, off of the ready for work, and never to be defeated, but I'm coming back to you for the dodging gods in the vinegar pack, for the disability, for the desert, shaking of the chroma, and being for the encouraging of their name. I am not prepared for the down, for the beware, for the niggas who only didn't find it despair, for the warning for the disappearance, for this would be the out, for the perseverance, for the shaking of the fifth of the night. And hear me getting that ready. I am in must maintain for the hurting, for the lonely nights, when waking up in the pain, for the only surviving, get battle with fights, making it to maintain. That for the seed and the light, for the dark, for trying to see in the mystery, for the unwanted, for the humans, and here to trying to meet the pain, for this to harder to fight, for this to be the rain, for the storm to get the brain, for the conquer the wrongs, and what you find the right, for this to trying to. Your nature, your body, your sex tight. They grabbing you, watching you undress with the peeking good nights, and behind that plot to the porno. Flickered sexual position, the exchange.
You can find that for the ignoring of the time space between the salt. You can find that for the ignoring of the time space between the salt, the music in the eyes, for the you can spoke like morphine, for the breath of the stolen, for the sky to let the time passing over you, for the here be somewhere else, sitting dangerous with the sea, smiles, judgment for the milk, and share the history for the energy now, yet so familiar with the presence and now a mystery. Cannot explain the reconfigure for the now it was new, not for the mind, for the not in this life, for the new, but the it was not to hope for the some person somewhere how. She was in my mind. She was in my life for the here and now, for the fucks, for the be the pope, for the open, the hoping, ever, for the rainbow. You're wishing on the conversation that you can find memorable. Something of positivity. Without being too optimistic at all, for the ready for war, for never to be defeated, but I'm coming back to you for the dodging gods and the bigger pack, for the disability, for the desert, shaking of the chroma, the being for the courage of their name. I am not prepared for the down, for the beware, for the niggas who only didn't find it despair, for the warning, for the disappearance, for this to be the out, for the perseverance, for the shaking of the fifth of the night. And getting that ready. I am ready, must maintain for the hurting, for the lonely nights, when waking up in the pain, for the only surviving, get battle, making it to maintain. That for the seed and the light, for the dark, for trying to see in the mystery, for the unwanted, for the human, for the trying to beat the pain, for this to harder to fight, for this to be the rain, for the storm to get the brain, for the conquer the wrongs, and what to find the right, for this to try to. Your nature, your body, your sex tight. They grabbing you, watching you undress with the peeking of nights, and behind that plot to the porno. Or flickered sexual position, the exchange after the high, for the ready to go, for the always ready to be a climax. If you could be the this for the ghetto story, and prepare yourself and why you find yourself hot at home. I can touch emotion with the lift, the big emotion with the getting into that body with the big costume all over, the smelling like a perfume. Something, nature, the living, the battle to see. A win, you find emotion for the word, you will be so slowly, finding these sights deep for the strangers and dreams. They will be cast away into the lonely hills. Destined to fall behind the seashore. If you can see it more than likely in the mirage. Open up that for the collage and we'll be putting together for the compilation. It will be complete. Complex enough as it was, but it will be never disputed as it be the fall of the unknown. Tackle the body, you can find some vitamins for the body, for the anatomy, for the you can find ever bloom. You can slide for the proportion, for the bench off, for the time, for the dime, for the juniper, for the disobedience, floating in fire, for the shaking of the scenes behind you, for the lighting up and spoken that we will. Maybe I can get the tweeted, for the saying behind that, for the indeed enough, be paranoid enough to calm down. Cycle continues to make position blowing half off, but you can pay attention for the ghetto, for the night, for the fade, for the night we get by. And just So I write for the bottom, for the heart, for the special I can be, for the experience and the touch of death, for the heart, for the emotion I can't bear to let that, for this, for the climax, for the stroke that always wanted to be, for the to be I am. Nothing much more to see, for the be happy, for the being that I am, for the dreams, to deliberately offer you, for the railroad from my heart. All emotions should spare for this time, so open I always wanted to be. No mistakes, nothing in vain. How can we make that? Call it bullshit, forget it, cost of it without a dreaming, for the touch of the stage, feathers inside the raging track, inside the creative thoughts and the fall for the vision, the leading the people through. I can find out for the here in the streets and quickly stealing yourself with creative thoughts. It's out of the dream for this routine. It's a figment of imagination, this theme, the snowflake. Those new enough, you for one time for their meaning, snow. Full of hate in this world, for the full of vacant, full of love and full of joy. Flakes in this for the be misbehaving, for everyone is so I can find you. Found her. So kind, so beautiful that I can barely put the barely talk and breathing. This will be astonishing enough that this will be the everything where I can choose. I choose to fuck or not be, for the celibate, for this to be. To let it go. The passing of energy, the time for the passive, it's the passing of fist across that place for the listening, the fist in the air, for the screaming at what you reckon find right. Righteous enough that it would be right. Would it be? Is that a rhetorical question? Would it be for the reading, for the more, for the energy, for the selling, for the clues? And lamp yourself in the position. Shine that light for what's right, for it'll be just. In the many mysteries with the projecting of what you define her. Issues looking for that for the rescue, it won't be coming for.